I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Kakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles of GMS, that rules world that we learn from. Peace, blessings, salutations to Yakim, the Aqua tuning in. The Israelite foreigners that are scattered. And this is going to be a lesson about this chick. At the end, she pretty much tells you about what's been silent for many years and generation, about the devastation that these so-called black mothers have done to these so-called black households. The so-called black woman is working hand in hand with Esau. So you Judite women that stumble across these videos like this and you're in this truth, be very thankful. And even maybe you have dealt with trauma, because I know a lot of so-called Judite chicks that not know them now, but knew them in time before. I sit back and ponder and think about such and such, why she acts as such, and me and my mans be talking. My mans I know in the world, we used to sit down and talk at times about different situations and the upbringings, Jersey, New York, based on the East Coast, and we talk about how these so-called black mothers is really like fucked up families, fucked up, these children, and nothing has been said, and it was so easy just to blame the fathers. So this is gonna show, the evilness of the so-called black woman, these mothers, and the chick, the little daughter, at the end. Listen to what she says.
Watching my channel, this video is basically about a mother fighting her daughter over a man, which is pathetic. Please subscribe. Let's go.
Before the video plays, I've actually known a couple of Judite chicks that went through this. I know a couple of chicks that actually been touched by their mother's dudes that they talk to. And again, one thing, that's why I'm glad everybody, for whomever got that jab. Hold on, bear with me one moment. Shit. So yeah, I'm happy for the people who got the jab, because the Lord is not going to quit the men and you women that have done wickedness and thought you have escaped. I'm gonna start ranting and let the video play.
Don't flatter yourself. Only cause your insecure ass got the nigga cheating on you, bitch, don't mean no motherfucker. I don't want shit to do with a nigga you fuck with, or you ever be a pussy mouth, or anything ever been on, bitch. I am your daughter, you slow, insecure, dumb, retarded ass, bitch. You slow, ho. You slow. Bitch, you slow. You slow. Bitch, you slow. Bitch, you slow. Bitch, you slow. Bitch, you slow. Oh, you insecure, you slow. You a fat ass. You are your fat ass. That's all your friends. Mother, bitch. All your friends. You
there you have it. I'm going to bring forth. So this is Sirach 30:1. It says, "Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter that ye may be safe. For the Lord have given the father honor over the children, and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons. Whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins." Should I go? Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and read it. "And he that honoreth his mother is as one that layeth up treasure. Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children, and when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. He that honoreth his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient unto the Lord shall be a comfort to his mother. He that feareth the Lord will honor his father, and will do service unto the parents as to his masters. Honor thy father and mother, both in word and deed, that a blessing may come from upon thee from them." And this is the point, because unfortunately we understand that due to Esau and the so-called black women, these mothers, they have destroyed the father image. They work hand in hand to destroy men's image. That's why a lot of boys and girls, they don't have no connection with their uncles, or they don't have no manly role models. And that's why another thing, they took out men out of the schools. They pretty much try to wipe out the masculine male, so-called black male image out of the minds of these children. And that's why nowadays you see a lot of lawlessness and perverseness amongst these the so-called black community. The so-called black community is done, and it's over with. It's finished. So it says, "For the blessing of the father establish the house of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations." So now the foundation of the household is messed up, because the so-called these black mothers are cursed. Now I'm going back to Sirach, going to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, which tells you that these are the curses that was going to fall upon our people to signify who we are in these last days. So this is Deuteronomy 28. Let me see. It's 56. Yep. "So the tender and delicate woman among you, which will not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground, for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom." So these starting with the so-called black mothers, they hate their father, they hate their husbands, and toward her son. And another thing too, these so-called black women, they say they love their sons, but they're really destroying their sons and making them effeminate and soft by taking away their father, and even choosing scumbag men to even have children with. That's not even ready. Well, not even that. Well, that's pretty much should be wiped out. They're not even fit to lead. They're so mentally fucked up in the head. So, and it says, "And toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out between her feet." And you about to really see this too. Even it says, "And toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for one of all things secretly in the siege, and straightness wherewith thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates." And there's a lot of cannibalism is going to come back too as well, because it's a heavy disdain for these children. Just like another thing going on now, these women are angry that they Roe v. Wade. So these girls may bring forth children, but in the day of distress and when Esau really these bitches ain't got nothing to eat, they may eat their kid. Well, they are going to eat their kids. But the point, these women really, these mothers hate their daughters. Let me get that scripture real quick. Lord send division, and another thing too. Again, like I said earlier, I've been talking to my dude I know in the world and other people, which talks about what's going on with a lot of these mothers, and kids are growing up to having a disdain for their mothers, and they're pretty much just cutting them off. When they get to a certain age, they're cutting them off. Lord shall send division And that's why even the ones in this truth, you men in this truth, women in this truth, you know, you may have to come to realization that, you know, because a lot of our mothers is mentally fucked up. And even our fathers. You know, you love them from afar, but personally, you can't really deal with them. Because certain, certain of my parents were on drugs. You know, some of our parents may have touched us, molested us. So you can't really deal with them. You know, the trauma that has been bestowed upon us, that we've seen and went through. So you pretty much just got to write them off. I mean, you know what I'm saying. So it says because Scripture says, you know, if anybody loved their aunt or loved their mother, father, family more than me, it should not be, you know, a part of me. Roughly paraphrasing. So Luke 12:51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth, I tell you nay, but rather division. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house, divided 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter. Because see, a lot of these, you know, these daughters is going to realize like, yo, shit is fucked up. This isn't right. My mother hates me. My mother, she's envious of me. So I really can't. You know, I can't do nothing with her. I try to help her, but she's conniving. She's she steals. She takes from me. She tries to verbally abuse me. So, you know, it's gonna get to a point where you're just going to, you know, deal with them from way afar. You know, so because here it is, you're trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. You know, you're trying to please the Lord. You know, you're trying to, you know, here it is. Your mother never taught you about loving a husband, keeping your legs shut, being discreet, modest, you know, not being loud, not talking against your man, even how to choose a man. Another thing too, your father wasn't there in the house, so pretty much, and like the girl said, her mother brought a lot of dudes in the household, and I can even attest to that. I know a lot of mothers, black mothers that I've seen personally do that. Deal with a lot of guys, and they bring these guys around their children. And who knows the mindset of these men, these dudes that they deal with. You know, these niggas be fucked up in the head, be hood niggas, be niggas that done grew up with crazy mothers, fucked up fathers, and the house divided, crazy grandmother, and you know, he may touch the daughter. So it says, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against the daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So the Lord is not bringing, you know, all that family shit is pretty much over and done with now. Because even my family, how you say it, my intermediate family that I know of, that of mine, man, it's like seriously, it's like getting to the point where I'm like, yo, the hell with them. You know, I have a new family. It's as Yahweh Shah said, the brothers in his truth. You know, those are the true family. These are my brothers and sisters and so forth. And another thing too, but you so-called black women and even you Latina women, because I know you know, a lot of your mothers is crazy as hell. The so-called Latina women, Hispanic women, because I see them a lot out here too, and these fucking new age so-called Hispanic women are fucking demons. Mouth is crazy, and you know, you're gonna have to look at your fellow sister as you know, as a friend and a sister wife, and you're gonna have to get you a man. But it was one, oh yeah, the aged woman. So Titus 2:3, the aged woman likewise that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, our grandmothers, our mothers, and you're supposed to teach the daughters, you know, holiness, not false accusers, as the daughter said, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. Yeah, a lot of these mothers, man, they tell their children to have children to use them against a man and get leverage, get food stamps. It's a whole fucking system, man. And it's a whole game, a gimmick to come to these fucking so-called black mothers, man. That's trickled down from these old, nasty 50-year-old, 60-year-old bitches, man. And again, I say this, man, I'm glad for everybody who took the yab, because your day is coming. Your day is coming. And for the thing that's about to come in times to come as well. You're really going to suit your fate when you take the M to the A to the R to the K. So it says to be discreet, Chaz, keep us at home. Yeah, now your mother told you shake with your mama. No, use your money maker, meaning your vagina. It says good, obedient to their own husbands. Now your mama said, nah, girl, you too young. Nah, do you find yourself, have fun. Basically what these mothers are saying: be a whore when you're a teenager, in your 20s, in your 30s, and when you're 40, 50, that's when you settle down. This is all shit that sound good. Another thing too, these mothers, and again I see it all the time, man. These mothers really are spiteful that their daughters are younger than them, and they still have somewhat of a chance to find a man, opposed to these old burnt out bitches. So a lot of times what they'll do is when they see their daughters get a man, of a decent caliber, they break that shit up, man. I know a dude in the world. He told me that before. He's like, he was dating this chick. Her own mother was trying to sabotage the relationship, man, because the bitch was envious that she had a good dude. So these mothers, man, they got a lot to pay for. Their day is coming. So as they said, the word of Yahweh be not blasphemed. But again, when you look at these women, the so-called black women, and on down, these mothers, man, they have become complete Gentiles. You look at them and you stay the fuck away from them. Like me personally, lately, man, I really don't. Man, like seriously, man, I stay the fuck away from the so-called black woman. And be honest with you, a lot of problems that I once had has gone away. It's not good. I'll be honest with you, it's not good to really take the so-called black woman and anything seriously right now until our hell breaks loose, and when the Lord will cipher you out, and bring you those women that fold. But as of now, the infrastructure's up, it's running. The so-called black woman is through. There's no point, because she has so much of a opposing and a destructive force around her, starting with her grandmother, starting with the mother, her aunts, and her little single friends, and just a whole cycle of dysfunction and envy, and this whole fake ass sisterhood of destroying men. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Lord's will, y'all edified. But yeah, man, this is what's going on. These so-called black women, these black mothers, they have caused a lot of pain and grief and agony in these households. They've broken up households. They're destroying children. They're murdering children. They're having abortions. A lot of these so-called black mothers, they're telling their daughters, they're in their ear to do an abortion. And why is that? Nah, girl, you too young. Chase your career. Think about yourself, girl. We all make mistakes, such and such. It's all good. You still young. But those are, see the mistakes that the so-called these black mothers tell that it's a mistake. It's not a fucking mistake. This is something that's serious, man. Sex is dangerous. Sex is dangerous, man. Sex is dangerous for men, and sex is dangerous for women, especially a woman. When a woman has a lot of sexual partners, man, she's fucked up mentally. And when a man have sex with again, when a man has sex with women that's basically my point is, if he's having sex with women that is just out there to destroy him, and he uses it as his rod as a man. So it's basically, my point is, man, that is not healthy for a man to be out there sexing a lot of women, basically for nothing or for no gain or no purpose, because it destroys you, man. It wastes your time. You shouldn't even be giving these women rod that doesn't even deserve it, and she's not even gonna do anything after. So basically, a man keeps just drilling women and having sex with women, like with this nasty lust, whorish, lust, perverse sex. What happened is he'll just grow up to hate women and disdain women, and that's why, again, it's a gender war. But it's all like the script, like not the scripture, but like the saying is, chivalry is dead. It's just because women killed it and destroyed it. Because Esau took these women's minds and turned them against the men, and now it's a gender war. And who do they take? Starting with Big Mama, and then on to your mother, and now on to these girls, as you clearly saw. But with that, I'm gonna say shalom.